Some cars are sitting on dealer lots for over 500 days. Yeah, that's not normal. And the last one? Dealers are quietly panicking. Let's talk about the cars nobody's buying and why. First up, the Volkswagen ID.4. This one is struggling bad. We're looking at 536 days of market supply. That's roughly 17 to 18 months just sitting on dealer lots. There are 1,464 units available right now, and in the last 45 days, only 123 sold. Average price sits at $48,489. Now, think about that for a second. Over a year of inventory, barely moving. So what's the problem? It's not just one thing, it's a stack of issues hitting at once. First, EV hesitation is still very real. A lot of buyers still aren't fully comfortable switching. Charging anxiety, road trips, battery life after a few years, it all plays in their head before they spend $50K. Second, Volkswagen's tech reputation took a hit. Early ID.4 owners talked about software bugs, laggy screens, random glitches, and once that kind of feedback spreads online, it sticks hard. Third, it's getting lost in the crowd. At this price, buyers are looking at Tesla Model Y, Hyundai Ioniq 5, even the Mach-E, and the ID.4 just doesn't feel like the obvious pick. So what happens? Dealers stock up expecting demand slows, and now these cars are just sitting month after month. We're talking incentives, discounts, lease deals, and still not enough movement. That's when inventory turns into a problem. Next up, Dodge Charger. Now, this one is different. It's not a demand issue, it's a timing issue. We're looking at 452 days of supply, about 15 months. There are 8,841 chargers sitting for sale and only 880 sold in the last 45 days. Average price? Around $58,300. So here's what's really happening. The Charger is in a weird transition phase. Dodge is moving toward a new generation, likely electric, and everyone knows the current gas-powered Charger is basically at the end of its life. So buyers are hesitating. They're asking, do I grab this V8 now before it's gone, or wait and see what's next? And that hesitation, it kills momentum. At the same time, pricing has climbed way higher than what people expect for a car that hasn't changed much in years. So now you've got two problems: buyers waiting and pricing pushing people away. Even though people still love the Charger, right now, love isn't turning into purchases, and that's why these things are just sitting. Now, the Audi S3. This one is failing quietly. It's failing loudly. We're looking at 368 days of supply, about 12 months. There are 614 units for sale and only 75 sold in the last 45 days. Average price lands at $58,765. So why is this happening? Because it's stuck in that awkward middle ground. At nearly $60K, buyers start thinking, should I go bigger? More luxury? More power? And once that thought enters, the S3 starts losing attention. On the flip side, younger buyers, the ones who want sporty, compact cars, are going a completely different direction. They're either buying used performance cars for better value or jumping straight into EVs. And then comes the biggest issue. It doesn't stand out enough. It's clean, quick, well built, but nothing about it feels urgent. No bold design, no viral appeal, no feature that makes people say, I need this. So what happens? People consider it, then move on. And when that happens at scale, inventory builds up fast. Next, Ford Mustang Mach-E. Now this one is interesting because it's not a failure, it's a miscalculation. We're looking at 350 days of supply, almost 12 months. There are 10,748 units sitting in inventory and 1,381 sold in the last 45 days. Average price is around $47,273. So yeah, it sells, but not nearly fast enough for how many Ford produced. And that's the key issue here. Ford built way too many expecting demand to stay hot. But the market cooled, buyers slowed down, interest rates went up, EV curiosity turned into hesitation, And suddenly, supply is way ahead of demand. Then comes the competition. At this price, people instantly compare it to Tesla. And in the US, Tesla still dominates the EV mindset. On top of that, calling it a Mustang created hype, but also confusion. A lot of traditional Mustang fans, they don't even consider it a real Mustang. So now you've got identity confusion, heavy competition, and too much inventory. And all of that leads to one thing: cars sitting longer than expected. And then the Audi Q5. This one is honestly surprising, because for years, this has been one of Audi's strongest sellers. But right now, it's slowing down. We're looking at 368 days of supply, basically a full year. There are 6,696 units for sale and only 830 sold in the last 45 days. Average price sits at $55,892. So why changed? The market evolved, and the Q5 didn't evolve fast enough. It's still a solid SUV, comfortable, reliable, premium feel, but today's buyers want more. More tech, bigger screens, better hybrids, more futuristic design. And when they compare the Q5 to newer rivals, it starts to feel a little outdated. Then comes pricing. At nearly $56K, buyers have options: hybrids, EVs, newer luxury crossovers. So even though people trust the Q5, they're not excited about it anymore. And that's the shift, because in today's market, being good isn't enough. If you're not exciting, not fresh, not clearly better, buyers move on. And when they move on, inventory stays. And yeah, this is just the beginning. Next up, the Maserati Grecale. Now this one's painful. We're looking at 321 days of market supply. That's over 10 months. There are 741 units sitting for sale and only 104 sold in the last 45 days. Average price, a steep $83,840. So what's going wrong? Simple: brand perception versus price reality. Maserati sounds exotic, right? Luxury, performance, status, but in the US, buyers don't fully trust it. Concerns about reliability, maintenance cost, and resale value hit hard at this level. At nearly $85K, people aren't experimenting. They want confidence. And when you're cross-shopping against brands like BMW, Mercedes, even Porsche, the Grecale starts to feel like a risky pick. It looks good, sounds premium, but buyers hesitate. And hesitation at this price point, that kills sales fast. Now, Mazda MX-5 Miata. This one isn't failing, it's just being ignored. We're looking at 315 days of supply, about 10 months. There are 2,110 units available and 301 sold in the last 45 days. Average price sits at $35,998. So why isn't this thing flying off the lot? Because it's a niche car in a practical market. People love the Miata, lightweight, fun, driver-focused, but when it comes time to spend money, most buyers choose practicality. 2 seats, small trunk, not ideal for daily use. It instantly limits the audience. And right now, with higher living costs and tighter budgets, people are playing it safe. SUVs, crossovers, hybrids, that's where attention is. So the Miata gets respect, but not enough buyers pulling the trigger. Next, the Nissan Leaf. This one used to lead the EV game. Now it's struggling to stay relevant. We're looking at 396 days of supply, close to 10 months. There are 2,196 units for sale and only 258 sold in the last 45 days. Average price is around $35,160. On paper, that sounds like a decent deal for an EV, but here's the issue. It feels outdated. Range isn't competitive anymore. Charging speed isn't impressive. Tech feels behind. And in today's EV market, those things matter a lot. Buyers now expect longer range, faster charging, and modern features. So even though the Leaf is affordable, people look at it and think, why not spend a bit more and get something better? And just like that, it gets skipped. Now let's talk big money. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer L. This one is sitting, and it's sitting heavy. We're looking at 282 days of supply, around 9 months. There are 2,131 units for sale and 340 sold in the last 45 days. Average price is a massive $85,074. So what's the problem? It's trying to play in a space where expectations are extremely high. At 85K plus, buyers want perfection, refinement, reliability, brand prestige. Jeep has strong off-road credibility, but in the ultra-luxury SUV segment, it's still proving itself. Then comes fuel economy. This thing is big, powerful, and not cheap to run. So now buyers are thinking twice. Do they spend that kind of money on a Jeep or go with more established luxury brands? That doubt slows everything down. And when prices are this high, even small hesitation equals slow sales. Finally, the Buick Envision. This one is the quiet overload. We're looking at 287 days of supply, about 9 to 10 months. But here's the real shock. There are 14,386 units for sale, and in the last 45 days, 2,252 sold. Average price sits at $42,821. So yeah, it's selling, but there's just way too many of them. And that's the issue, oversupply. Buick positioned the Envision as a premium-ish SUV, but in the US, the brand sits in a weird middle space. Not fully luxury, not fully mainstream. So buyers look at it and think, should I go cheaper or just spend a little more for a true luxury brand? That indecision slows things down. Add in strong competition from Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, and suddenly the Envision gets lost in the crowd. It's not bad, it's just not the first choice. And when you're not the first choice, you sit. Write in the comment box which car you like most. These cars aren't terrible, they're just misread by the market. And when demand drops, even good cars start collecting dust.